Yes, I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of the LEDGRIA Podcast Show, baby. And you know what that sound means. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, I've been strolling and trolling through the world of media and madness. And I'm going to start off with some madness about a young lady. It's around Valentine's. I'm going to kind of try to keep some of that in the narrative. But an unfortunate love story I found while I was doing my strolling and trolling. I think last year, this 19-year-old girl, she flies to Canada to be with or live with or fall in love with or stay with, however it ended. She flew from Canada to England, I think somewhere like that, overseas anyway, to be with this guy that she met on an online app. And of course her excuse for doing it was like, I can't connect with no guys here, so none of the local guys are doing it for me. No, you just want to try. You think it's going to be better, like you're a Canadian girl, you go out the country, you're gonna be treated better. It's a nice concept, but unfortunately, she was with the guy, I think, since last year. So we're talking about some time, and supposedly she starts sending her friends, these messages, letting them know that he was getting controlling. You know how it's men are. You can't do nothing. You can't do that. But women are more controlling than men, so it kind of like you end up giving it back. And in the sense of Valentine's Day, when a woman falls in love, she's gonna start telling you to do stuff. You need to do this, and you need to do. She's gonna start changing your emotional aptitude. That's a good one. Your emotional aptitude to be with her, or to even just live your life. She's gonna, you shouldn't be so. Why are you so hard like that? Like, what is your problem? So she's gonna, increase your emotional aptitude. But unfortunately, this young lady, she tried to leave. I guess the relationship didn't turn out to be as happy as she would have wanted it. So she tried to leave, and the gentleman killed her. And of course, the article is kind of sick how the article started. They're trying to, he had tattoos on his face. So what? There are men with tattoos on their face that are great guys. So what does tattoos have to do with it? Or maybe she should have recognized. I don't know. But they kind of started off. In some of these articles, when I read them, I'm like, why are y'all writing it like this? Can't you write better? You're putting a stigma in there on top of this young lady losing her life. So you kind of really don't give a shit, it seems like. But anyway, so yeah, she lost her life. And it was so blatant because the article read, when the cops came, when they responded to a 911 call. Of course, there's a neighbor or something say they heard some screaming or some muffled, some type of sounds. And they responded, and he was just sitting in the bed with the body, bloody, like nothing had happened. And of course, here on the LEDGRIA Podcast Show, of course, I talk a lot about mental health. That is a mental episode. And I say this, I try to say it a lot. Of course, it hadn't gained steam because a lot of people are talking about trash. But mental health is something that is in the news every day. But you have to have the discernment, and thank you God for it, to see it. Because there's no way that this guy murdered this girl and just sat in the bed with the body with blood on him, bloody, and he's sane. There's no way. And he didn't call the cops. Someone called the cops on him. He didn't know the cops was coming. He was just in that state of mental episode where he has murdered someone. He was broke. And that is the thing. And I'll say again before I move on from this segment, if you are at that point in your life where your mental health has deteriorated to the suicidal thoughts or taking someone else's life, or you just can't handle the pressure and you want to act out in violence, please seek help. It's an easy thing to seek help now or before, because hindsight is always 20/20. Sitting in prison saying, I should have got help, it won't help anyone. It will hurt everyone. So yeah, that's what I found. First segment, Strolling and Trolling. If you are going through an episode, please seek help. Now, moving on to the next segment, AOC Alexandra Cortez. She has suggested that I know nothing about this, but I do have a platform or catalyst for this story. She's pushing, or she suggested that the staffers that work on Capitol Hill, the young kids or maybe some old ones who worked for below minimum wage when I did the wage, they make right at minimum wage, some of them, but she was saying they barely make a living wage and they need to start a union to fight for wage increase. Here's my thing. If you're on Capitol Hill and you're an official, just give them a raise. Why these people got to go through all that to get something that you could just give them? If you feel, Miss Alexandra Cortez, if you feel like they are worth more money, submit something to get them more money. Draw up some legislation, some bill that says, but you don't understand. A lot of those staffers, they do their time. They gonna pay their dues. They know it didn't pay when they took the job, but they gonna do their time. They gonna do their job. So when they decide to go into politics, they finesse with, they rub shoulders with the big wigs. They've gotten next to the people who got the money and got the power. So a lot of those young kids that are doing that, they're probably gonna go into politics running a campaign. So they're paying their dues. Now, if you start making it a high-paying job, you're going to get people who just going to be staffers till they're 80. It's time to go. It's over. Okay, I'm going to leave. So you're going to get into that. So I think a lot of those young kids are like, they're okay. They're enjoying the parties, the free food, some of it, but they need more money, I guess, to live. So, and then for her, I'm telling you, AOC, she's going to be a power up there on the hill. So just get ready. And then after she said it, Mama Pelosi came out in support of it. And when Mama Pelosi came out in support of it, they started drawing up bills. Of course, some of her haters, you need to retire. It's time for you to go. You're 81 years old. You've been in Congress since you was 2 years old. It's time for you to go, Mama Pelosi. So Mama Pelosi came out in support of AOC, and then they start drawing up bills, which is good. I mean, you have to understand that is a good thing. And then I saw another article with AOC. She makes a comment that the men on, I guess she's surprised that politicians, it seemed like she was surprised that politicians around her co-workers, find her attractive. Like, you're a woman. What is the deal? Like, how is that even a conversation? But you're young. See, that's important to you, to be liked and to be considered pretty. Y'all should be up there working and making some goddamn bills, passing some laws, actually negotiating something for we the people, instead of worrying about how pretty you are and who thinks you cute and all that. You kind of look kind of bad because a couple of weeks ago, you mentioned sex again. I mean, you're kind of getting out of hand with this perception of sexual, or the appearance of attractiveness, let me say that, or the level of attractiveness that needs to exist for lawmakers. Cut it out. I mean, just do something, because you're gonna tarnish your name in a little bit. You're gonna go too far, especially in this world of Me Too and sexual harassment. You're gonna go too far. So yeah, I'm gonna move into my next segment. But yeah, Fox News. If you paid attention to the country, I covered it a couple of weeks ago that the Supreme Court has shot down the vaccine mandate in America. It shot it down. It's over. It's done. But Fox News, and I'm calling out Fox News, they are showing you this video, or they're reporting about the Canadian, in Canada, they're requiring that, wow, Canada's in here twice. They're requiring that the truckers be vaccinated. So the truckers are striking, and they're carrying this story like it's here in America. Of course, it's going to affect us here in America, but we don't really get a lot from Canada, because Canada say they're the best America or the best northern country. So we don't really do a lot of, we don't get a lot of goods from Canada. We get goods from Canada. Most of our goods come from China. But for this story to be just blasted, like, it has no weight here in America. So what I'm saying is, I mean, yes, it's a good story. Yes, it's a juicy story, Fox. But you could actually waste those reporters' times on something else, because there's a lot going on. There's still a lot going on in America. But they're pushing this video, and the people who are probably still upset with it are connecting themselves to Biden and the vaccine mandate here in America. That's over. So if you see this video, or whatever the case may be, if you see it, just understand, in America, that is over. The president is he's not even discussing it anymore, because the U.S. Supreme Court they did support him, the democratic process, and hope, especially when Biden and Obama worked together. So the U.S. Supreme Court, he respected it, and he just pulled away from it. But the news is trying to keep it up like something's going on. Nothing's going on. I'm gonna tell you like that. Nothing's going on. Nobody has resubmitted a vaccine mandate bill to anyone. I hadn't read it, and I troll too much. But yeah, so if you see that, don't really take it personally. The truckers nationwide, no, I take that back. I was about to say something wrong. Here in America, and a lot of the states, especially here in Tennessee, the governor made sure those truckers had free will to get you your food, to get you your goods. So once that stuff comes across that Canadian border and is ready to be transported in America, the state's governors has already taken care of that. You're going to get your stuff. You ain't got to worry about that. So America has done their due diligence on that. Shout out to the governors of all the 50 states that we have. So yeah, I'm going to move into my next segment, which is Spotify again. Not Joe Rogan. Of course, it's about Joe Rogan, but the CEO of Spotify, and well, I have to give you a backdrop. Yesterday and a couple of days ago, I'm trying to express the fact that anything related to COVID is about money now. It is a big business report for the news. It is a big business report for podcasts. It is a big business for scientists, manufacturers, mass manufacturers, the test manufacturers. It is now a financial gain situation. Our health has become our health, but it is now a financial situation for a lot of companies, a lot of entities. So the CEO of Spotify actually was secretly recorded, and the recording was leaked by an employee because he was giving a meeting or having a meeting, a 15-minute talk with the employees, and basically told them that they need Joe Rogan to be controversial for their big picture. Basically, if Joe Rogan is shut down or muted or silenced, then they won't have as much money as they have. That's the thing. So, I mean, it's sad to even see that. Of course, I didn't hear the recording, but to read that, I'm like, well, they know what I know, so of course, let's not even play. Hey, Fox Media, go for it. You know COVID's big business. Keep doing it, because it is a known fact now. So the CEO basically in a recording, like I said, he's basically said, COVID is a business. It's making us money. When Joe Rogan has people on that's talking about the opposite side, it's a business. COVID is a business. We're getting paid off of it, and we need him to pay you. You need him to do what he do, to talk the way he talk, so you can get paid and you can make the money that you make. That is what the CEO of Spotify basically was telling his people. Like I said, the recording has been leaked. And he may be looking for another job in a minute. I think they'll get rid of him before they get rid of Joe Rogan. He's the CEO, not the owner of Spotify. He is the CEO. All he has to do is say something wrong, and Spotify gonna pull him. But at the same time, they're in support of Joe Rogan with COVID, and based off of it, they're just a media conglomerate now. Spotify wants all the podcasts. They want all the music. They're just a media conglomerate. They're just like Fox Media. They're just like ABC News. They're just like CNN now. So let's look at it from that standpoint. COVID is money. Speaking of COVID, speaking against COVID is even money, because you say something stupid, you get your 15 minutes of fame. I'm not going to do that, because I'll take my 15 minutes of nobody knowing who the hell I am over 15 minutes of fame, and then something else come on. So no, but yeah, that's the biggest thing right there with Spotify right now. Their CEO is, you'll see, it'll be on the hot seat. It's going to get worse for him. Of course, I'm just predicting that because one of your employees, who is obviously against you supporting Joe Rogan, you don't know that, has walked into your meeting, your whatever you had with them, and pressed record. They had malicious intention when they pressed record. They knew what they were going to do. This is not a mistake. This is not, oops, my phone was, nope. This was intentional. You have a mole. That's the way to put it. Spotify, you have a mole. But yeah, I'm gonna move into my last segment, and I've been saying this for a while, and it's COVID, but it's not COVID. It's more CDC. Now the CDC, they have enough data. They have come out and basically spoken positively about the people who have overcome COVID, and basically they're saying you're protected. If you have had COVID, even if you don't know it, well, CoV SARS-2, the original strain that came from Wuhan, if you have had that, your body will immediately respond and fight back every strain, or fight against every strain. But don't eat yourself into underlying health issues. I said it again. Don't eat yourself into underlying health issues. Life will bring enough health issues as it can, but don't eat yourself into underlying health issues. But yeah, so the CDC is really coming out, and basically they're saying there has been 65 million people that have recovered from COVID. We're talking about the original strain. And they can add all the data after that as far as the variants. But the original strain, since the original strain, 65 million people have recovered. That is a big number, and I don't think we've heard that number before, but they have calculated the data. They are going into support. Of course, they'll probably start some antibody tests or whatever the case may be, because I saw another article that was trying to figure out why some people got COVID and some people didn't. You know, why are you thinking like that when you said everybody was going to get Omicron or Megatron? But hey, that is in the news. That is big on CDC. That is big for you. If you're one of those people who unfortunately had to suffer through COVID, the virus itself, the original, we're talking about the Wuhan. Hey, you are stronger than you know, and don't let nobody tell you anything different. Hopefully they'll come up with some when you've been recovered from the virus card here in America. Hopefully they'll come up with that, because a lot of people have recovered from it and they're going through the same stigma. They got to get vaccinated and things like that. But yeah, that's what I found on my episode of Strolling and Trolling. I got a new logo for it. I'm gonna upload it. Hopefully you like it. But yeah, I want to thank you for listening, and take care of yourself and take care of each other, and welcome to the Grill Dog.